Hey traders, Thomas here with OrderFlowEdge.com with a market wrap up for today, Thursday, June 19th. Just a quick reminder to everybody, we have our live workshop scheduled for this coming Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. We have the agenda set for the workshop. It's going to be great. I'm pretty excited about it. But, we're going to cover the nuts and bolts of how we find opportunity in the market. We're going to cover how we use the trade tunnel dashboard to simplify trading by breaking down the whole process into 3 steps, right? We're going to talk about how we form our bias, step 1, step 2, how to identify a deal trade location with minimal risk, and step 3, how we use real-time order flow clues for confirmation on the trade entry, right? Now, we're going to break that down in terms of inside-out types of trades, right, when we're looking for continuation with the trend trades, and we're going to talk about that as far as outside-in types of trades when we're fading the trend at the outside edge of the range. Like, for instance, this afternoon we had an outside in type of trade here as the market was coming down into lows in the 1944 area at about 130 or so. We had what we call an inventory transition, right, which is basically a stop run occurring on a higher time frame. And what we're looking for is clues on the 2R as the market's coming down into this inventory transition level here. As far as the order flow inventory, we're looking for order flow clues to confirm entry to the long side, right? A little bit of a different type of trade than the inside out trade, which the inside out types of trades with the trend trades make up the vast majority of our trades. We do have these outside in type of trades as well, so we're going to get into that during the workshop. The main difference in that trade is the bias, how we form our bias, right? The trade direction. For inside out types of trades, we're forming our bias based on what the higher time frame order flow control is telling us, right? The order flow trend on the higher time frame, right? Let me just move this out of the way, right? And we use kind of a top-down, bottom-up approach, right? So we're forming our bias based on the trend of the traders on the higher time frame, what they're doing in the order flow. Are they more aggressive to the buy side? Are they more aggressive to the sell side on the higher time frames, right? That's the order flow trend. And then that's going to be our trade direction. Now, just to speak about that for a minute or two, guys, and we're going to go much deeper into this during the workshop, but you got to understand how trading with the flow of the higher time frame, those patterns that are setting up on the smaller time frame when they're in the direction of the trend on the higher time frame, they're more reliable and they have better probabilities of working out. It's kind of like you have an extra ally on your side when you're trading in a direction of the prevailing order flow trend, right? You're trading with the basic foundation of continuation. That is the trend, right? So if the trend is up, like right now, the trend is up, the market comes down and sells off with a little, HFT driven stop run on the smaller time frame against the trend on the higher time frames, we're looking for longs, and what we're doing is looking for this minor stop run to exhaust and for a bigger stop run to kick back in the direction of the trend, right? Well, there's a couple of really extenuating circumstances here which help to drive the probabilities higher in our favor, and that's why we say it's kind of like trading with an extra ally on our side, right? You're looking and you're conditioning yourself to constantly look for the market to kick back in to that trend, which is going to happen more often than it doesn't, right? Now, it's just a matter of learning how to make the structure of the market work in your favor, right? And as you start to watch this with the dashboard and you see this day after day, you start to see this rhythm very easily. You just need conditioning to see it, right? You need me to explain things. You need me to point them out. You need to see them with your own eyes. You need to hear about it every single day, and that's conditioning. And now, before you know it, doesn't take too long before you start to see this rhythm very easily in the market. And what happens is until that trend officially changes, you have to keep taking trades in the direction of the order flow trend, right? We talk about that in terms of, for instance, if we have an uptrend, it makes sense to be a buyer until it doesn't make sense anymore, right? So we might have several opportunities in the course of an uptrend to get long on any pullbacks that come in, right? So it's going to make sense to keep doing that until it doesn't make sense to do it anymore. And then we'll have clues that'll tell us that, hey, things have changed. The trend is not to the upside anymore. Maybe it's gone neutral. Maybe sellers are coming in, and then it doesn't make sense to take longs anymore, right? It's just, there's such a simple elegance to it, guys. But one of the main reasons, and most people aren't thinking about the market in these terms, but one of the main factors why this works is because if the higher time frame order flow traders, the higher time frame traders are trading in the order flow to the buy side, means they're more aggressive to the buy side, they're working around long positions. They're not participating in the sell side on these little minor stop runs, right? Because they're trading to the long side, they're working around long positions, right? So not only are they not selling here, right? So you don't have to, it's like you're not fighting the higher time frame. Not only are they not selling here, they're probably looking to be a buyer in wholesale areas, right? That's what the TT represents to us, right? Wholesale value. It represents an area of demand. So not only are they not selling, they're probably looking to pick up inventory like we would be, right? So it's like you're using them as an ally, right? Now, again, it's just a matter of simply learning to see the structure that's there in the market and then being able to catch these waves in a systematic manner. And then what happens is you don't even realize it at first, but you're actually making the structure of the market work in your favor because you're no longer fighting it. You're working with it, right? So again, Wednesday evening, 8 p.m., we're going to go much deeper into bias, trade location, the order flow clues that we use for confirmation. We're going to talk about how we identify trapped traders in the market and how we use that information to our advantage. We're going to talk about identifying who's in control, buyers or sellers, and when that control is shifting. We're going to talk about the stop runs, when and where they're taking place. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to. Any additional questions, don't hesitate to email us. Trade patient, trade well, everybody. We'll see you soon.